Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Big Idea Podcast. My name is Eric Bramlett. I'm the Creative Arts Director around here, and I am joined, as always, by Tim Sutherland, our teaching team guru. Tim, how you doing today?
Well, now that I've been called guru, really well.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I don't know if that's on the business card.
It's not.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can arrange it. We are excited to talk to you about a 3-week series that we are doing in and around the first weekend of January. So this is our classic post-Christmas. I'd say it's a bump. I mean, Christmas has a huge, pool of people who are coming for Christmas. But then I think you get that New Year's resolution thing kicking in, and I do think you have a wave of focusing in on spiritual things, and it's a great time to be doing a new series that's going to captivate people and challenge them.
And it's a great series to be talking about from stage and around the First Impressions area during our adventure series to go,
this is coming next.
This is coming next because there'll be lots of window shoppers and looky-loos.
Yeah, and who doesn't want to hear about my story?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, enough about me. What do you think of me? Right?
That Midler Beaches.
Yes. So it's a nice little tease on that. But the title of this series is My Story. And Tim, why don't you give us just an overview of this 3-week series and what it hopes to accomplish in general?
Well, one of the things we want to do, Eric, is tell I don't know about as many, but we want to tell great stories of transformation and life narrative of going from a place of kind of spinning your wheels or heading downhill to a whole new direction and a whole kind of, who's the group that did the song A New Way to Be Human?
That would be Switchfoot.
Switchfoot.
Yeah.
It's a little bit older, but it's still kind of cool. So this is about the stories of people who are finding a new way to be human because of Jesus. And like all good stories, they have kind of a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so we're going to talk about the beginning with how my story started. What did I start doing when I found this new way? And then for that to be for real and to get traction in my life, there also needs to be some things that I stop. So part 1 is I started, part 2 is I stopped, and part 3 is I stayed. So for starting and stopping to have any real meaning, there's got to be some perseverance. And in everybody's story, all the great stories not only have action and drama and all this stuff, but they always have this main character who not only overcomes obstacles, but perseveres through obstacles that cannot be necessarily overcome and resolved. So we're going to go, I started, I stopped, I stayed, and we're going to break this all down on Ephesians 5, 1 through 16. I don't know that we've ever done a series ever before where we took a entire pericope that was not necessarily narrative.
I used to play bass for pericope.
Oh, man,
you were
awesome.
Really good.
Yeah.
We had that one hit single. Remember what was the name of the song?
No, but it was awesome.
Oh, that's the name. No, but it was awesome.
See?
So popular with the kids.
So I'm really excited about the Ephesians 1 through 16 because it breaks down really clearly about, hey, here's the new start, and here's some things that need to stop, and here's some things that you need to stick to and to stay with. And then for some backup stuff, we've got the wonderful story of the story of Elisha.
Elisha.
Yes.
All right. That's exciting.
It really is, and it gives people a great chance to tell stories of how, I used to be stuck in this and mired in this and spiraling out of control or going nowhere in this. Take your pick, all the usual suspects. But hey, people love the stories of all the usual suspects because we're all the usual suspects. I have so much in common with that guy who needs to get in a 12-step recovery program, not just because alcohol is destroying his life, but because Jesus has got a hold of him. And I have so much in common with that couple who's, ready to get a divorce because they're fighting about money all the time because somebody didn't want to go to Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University or something.
Right.
I mean, all of those stories, even though they can be somewhat predictable in some people's eyes, for the average attender, it's like going, man, if God can get them out of that and into that. God can get me out of this and into that. So that's what we're doing.
All right, I love it. Well, let's dive right into week 1. I started. Talk to us a little bit about what it means to start some new things with this verse.
All right. This is a verse that just blows my mind because it's talking about what is this thing that is happening in the lives of Christ followers. And it goes this way. It says, be imitators of God, which we've talked about this once before, as I recall. It's one thing to like say, oh, well, I tried to be like Jesus, but who do you know that says, I try to be like God?
Right, or I want to imitate him.
Yes, I really try to model my life. My role model is kind of God, Eric.
Right.
And
now he is my co-pilot.
That's true.
I'll say that.
That's true. But
I still don't know that I'm imitating him as much as maybe I should be.
And so there's this amazing thing, but I love but it's not about being presumptuous or arrogant. It's not trying to imitate God and His power and authority, because right after that it says, as dearly loved children, and live a life of love. And so there's the thing, to imitate God means to know that you're His child and to live a life of love. Right there, awesome encapsulation of the beginning of what it means to be a Christ follower with your life. Is going, oh, I'm His dearly loved child, and so I'm trying to live a life of love. And then it says, just as Christ loved us and gave Himself up for us. It's like going, okay, so this is how I know that God's living a life of love, because what Jesus has done for me. And so this whole thing is with starting. It's not about, I turned over a new leaf to have a little bit better life, or to not be so stupid. It's like, no, I'm living a life of love now, because I know how I'm loved, and it's a kind of love that's not just like, oh, hi, I'm nicer now.
Nice.
It's like, no, it's the kind of love that Jesus embodied when He did what He did for me, which is like going, that's the start. And it's important because for some people in their story, they think about their story starts with stopping. Well, it all started when I decided I needed to stop drinking, or needed to stop running around on my husband, or I needed to stop gambling. Stories don't really start with stopping. They start with starting.
There you go.
And so we're starting with going this life of love, and then
talk about how Elisha fits in.
Oh, it's great. So Elijah is, like, many people don't know this, considered the great, most powerful prophet of all time in the Old Testament. Elijah.
Yep.
Right. And this is then God calls Elijah to apprentice Elisha. And Elijah comes up to Elisha, and he puts the prophets would wear this particular garment called a mantle. It was kind of like a shawl, and but not for little old ladies. It was a garment. It was like the uniform that really BA prophets wore. So did I just say that out loud? Is
that an A-Team reference?
It is.